Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Naughty Lines, the show where lines are drawn below the belt and sometimes above the belly. Today, I am here with a very special guest, SirenSlut Arts, aka Imani, because I will not be referring to her as SirenSlut for the entirety of this review.
Nice to have me here.
Yes, awesome. And welcome back, guys. It's been quite a while since the last episode. Uh, some things have been going down, but very happy to be back and very happy to have Siren here with me, or Imani. I need to remember that. So
Either or.
either or Siren or Imani, either one.
Either or. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Imani, thank you for agreeing to be on the show. It is an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I've been in love with your art style for quite a while, and I can honestly say because like looking at your art, you can see kind of a, I don't want to say influence, I guess, with kind of a Sonic kind of art style. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're right, because I am heavily influenced with the Sonic franchise. I've been since 2009.
Hmm. Okay. And that actually goes into one of the first questions I was going to be asking you. Like, what started you on this path of art that got you to where you are today? And you just answered like what influenced your style, which was the Sonic the Hedgehog uh, franchise. But what started you on art, and when did it start?
Well, I started art when I was like 3 years old, and it was the basic pencil and paper. Um, my first things that I would usually draw was fashion. I like to draw my stick figures with like random clothes and I'd make them clothes. And then I'd move over to mythical creatures because I loved mythical creatures like mermaids, for instance. I drew dragons, I drew mermaids. Sometimes I drew unicorns, but it was mostly the mermaids that I drew.
Okay.
And I've just stuck with the artwork until 2009 is when I got introduced to Sonic by my cousin. And I thought the show was cringy as crap because it's like a talking animal. And I was like, what is this garbage? And I actually found a shipping in the show that got me hooked to it.
Mhm.
And then I made a first character. Her name was Gigi. She is sold now, but she's been with me for a very long time. She was a lizard, and I like to be different. Like, I didn't want hedgehogs. I didn't want echidnas or foxes. I wanted to be different.
Like you didn't want the typical Sonic OC maker kind of hedgehog. Like this OC looks a little bit like Amy Rose because it's a distant cousin made
Yeah,
made in a
I
laboratory.
I wanted to widen my horizons on species in the Sonic franchise and all that because I was fascinated with the creativity of different characters, but I wanted to be the one that stood out. I like standing out. I don't like being a follower in a sense. I like to lead. So I led with a lizard.
Mhm.
And then I created a mermaid 2 years ago because that character has been through so much. And I was like, I'm burnt out on her. I want something else. And I was like, I want to make a mermaid. So I made a rough draft of her, and then later on the years, 2 years, she is what she is today. And I first started off with Safe for Work,
Mhm.
and then I think in 2016 I started. NSFW because it was something different. I I enjoyed the the intimacy with yourself and the artwork that you do. It just makes you closer. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah, because I mean, like, because it kind of goes into another topic that usually comes up, with NSFW artists usually in this atmosphere, especially on Twitter. It's a lot of people have the stigma or notion that um, that like NSFW artists are just horny mongrels who just draw what they want, like either to do or done to them, and that stigma carries on everywhere. And so, what would be your response to this like kind of stereotype going around for NSFW artists?
That is absolutely incorrect and untrue. I will say this because I have a bunch of mutuals that are really successful NSFW artists,
Mm-hmm.
and I will say they are the most respectable and down to earth people you will ever meet. And my husband, for instance, he's very down to earth as well. But when like we only get like that when we're with our friends and it's really satire. That's it. And we'll put on this facade like, oh, haha, we're these people. But
Mm-hmm.
really, if you get us by ourselves, we're not. We're like everyday people. So it's most of them do it as a joke because there is a stigma for it and it's kind of like a mockery when we do it because we're kind of making fun of the people that say that because it's like, whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know us. But I will say seriously that they are the most respectable and mature group of people I have ever met.
Right. Okay. And what is it? When it comes to the people that you like your fan base, because you have you have a pretty large following that I see. You have like around almost 2,100 followers. And by the way, congrats on almost getting to 2,100. Can't wait to see you hit that milestone.
Thank you. It'll be the second time I've reached that.
And so for your fan base, do you ever run into those people who, because you do commissions? I'm not sure if they're open now. Uh, like like for everyone watching, if they would be, if they're interested in uh, commissioning you, like, are you open for that?
I am currently closed due to personal burnout
Mm-hmm.
and family issues because now I'm using the artwork that I do now for money to support my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that for quite a long time and it's now gotten to the point where I'm really burnt out. That's why you don't see me post a lot. So I'm closed on those until I can get better
Okay.
mentally.
Okay. And I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that we eagerly await uh, your coming back to the art scene, and hopefully when you come back, everything is better and your personal life has all cooled down and such. I hope that
Thank
for you.
you. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So have you ever run into any commissioners that you just straight up say no? Like they're either being too creepy or the request is too much, you just won't do it, or either that, or have you had any commissioners like bail out on paying before you give the finished product?
I've had maybe three commissioners that I turned down,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're mostly because they want to do humanized stuff, and I don't feel comfortable doing it because I still need more practice. Um, and then there was one, I don't remember when, but it was because they want me to do something that was against my rules. So obviously I'll say no. And I also had one um, that they tried to bail on me, and I'm glad I didn't start on it because just something about them was a little sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted a $200 commission. And I was like, okay. But I looked at their profile and it already seemed sketchy because there's no profile picture, no banner, um, no tweets at all.
Hmm.
And they wanted a commission. I was like, yeah, okay, buddy, sure. And come to find out, they confessed to me, I tried to rip you off. I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you're blacklisted from me. Thank you for telling me, but I'm sorry. No.
Wow. I mean, I understand if you're a person who at least like whenever you actually commission an artist, like you message them and tell them, hey, um, I'm wanting this and this with the full intention to pay. I understand if something comes up, like, and you can't pay for it anymore, and you just have to tell the person, hey, I can't pay anymore, so you can stop the commission. That's understandable. But if you're just if like, cause if you're just there to ask for the commission and then hope and pray that they actually send you the finished product before you pay just to take it and leave, like that's pretty scummy, not gonna lie.
You're going to meet a lot of people like that, especially if you're an NSFW artist, because sex sells, you know,
That
and it does. I'm not even going to lie.
yeah.
And you are going to meet people like that. And my only advice is to basically, like, just don't fall for the, like, oh, I'm going to pay for it, but just be aware of your surroundings when it comes to profiles like that, because usually they can give themselves away.
Mhm.
They usually do. And my advice for that is to do not start the work until they bring out the full payment. Invoices are good too, because it shows proof, more proof.
Right. Like, oh, I love how you say I love how you said that sex sells because you're like the fifth person to say that on this show, and it can't be any more true. Like, because I've had a
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
yeah, because I've had a couple of guests who say that, and this actually rolls into another question. They say that they don't want to only be known for their NSFW stuff. They want to branch out into more stuff that they want to draw because the NSFW stuff it can get them a lot more money and a lot more exposure, I guess you can say.
It
So,
is. That's exactly correct. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
yeah, so do you feel the same way as if like you would want to you would want to be known more for your art in general instead of just the 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 titties and schmeats that you draw?
God, yes. Please, yes. Because I it's a burnout, you know, because
Mhm.
it's fun, but it's just not what I originally started off as. And I love safer work because I can create a story with it too. Like you can create a story with NSFW as well, but that's not why people go there. Let's be real. They're not there for the story, for the plot.
Right, right. They're not a man of culture. They're not there for the plot. They're there
No, they're not
for
there for the
the
plot.
they're there for the climax.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. And another question for that would be like, for instance, your OC. Your OC. I'm guessing, um, part mermaid, right?
She is a mermaid.
Is a mermaid. Okay.
Yes.
So your OC. People ask to either have a picture drawn with their OC and your OC, and that's normal. That's more than fine.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel when people commission you to like have their OC and your OC uh doing the business? Like, is that something that you allow, or is that something where you go, I don't know?
I allow it because it's not real in a sense.
Mhm.
And my character, I kind of look at mermaids as more as a sexually diverse creature.
Mhm.
So they're sexually open and they're poly. Can't say the other word, but they're they're usually in a poly relationship or in love triangles or whatever. And I don't frown upon it, but there has been some stuff that happened recently to where if you do want that and you want to do gift art for me or if you want a commission from me, you have to ask me. Because we
Right.
dealt with somebody that did it without people's permission, and usually I'm like, dude, go ahead. I'll love it either way.
Mhm.
But for those victims that didn't ask for permission and still had that done, I wanted to, I say help, and by say I want permission now because that's not cool, and I don't want to give that kind of leeway for people if they don't even know how to behave. A line needs to be drawn somewhere. You can't be too carefree.
Right. I think I read about that. Not about, probably not about the same situation, if I'm not mistaken. Probably like a similar situation recently I read about on Twitter. Where someone just goes around asking other artists to draw them with someone else's OC without their permission, like asking other artists to do it. And thankfully, that artist decided like to go forth to the people that they wanted to be paired with and be like, "Hey, this person's asking me to draw them with you. Is that okay?" And so thankfully they did that, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. And when permission isn't given, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of creepy, especially
It
if it's not wanted.
Yes, it is creepy and it's very disrespectful to the artist that didn't even ask. I'm a real stickler about that because you don't know how that person views their OC. It could be
Mm-hmm.
their persona, it could be their comfort character, and you defile their character like that. Think about it. It's like disgusting. And that's why I had to change my approach. So, like, my viewers or my followers know that y'all need to uh, figure yourselves out or something. Because that person was my follower when they
Mm-hmm.
did that.
And so, with that being said, and this kind of goes without saying, but just for conversation's sake, when it comes to shipping on Twitter or anything like that, it's usually like it's usually done by different people and such. It's like, oh yeah, I I ship them. It's all cute, but what's your opinion on people shipping actual people with other people? Kind of like I guess the what is it? To put into perspective, I guess like Jaden Animation's Odd Ones Out, everyone shipped them together, and one of them actually came out and said, "That's creepy. We have our own lives, our own relationships. You shouldn't ship two real people together." What's your opinion on that?
I agree. You shouldn't do that. But it also depends on the person,
Mhm.
too. So, since they said that, then yeah, it's obviously creepy. But you can also get, like, let's say, I'm just going to speak out of whim, PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye. There's people that ship them together and they're like, okay, whatever. So it all depends on the person. But normally you don't do that.
Okay.
Normally.
And like, cause like in a inner circle of friends, um, it's funny sometimes to say like, ooh, this person should get together. Oh, you guys look so cute together. Those kind of things. That's fine in an inner circle. But when it's
Yes.
like gets to the point where they're actually trying to push you together, and uh,
That's wrong.
that's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so a different question for you would probably be uh why art? Out of because out of all the hobbies in the world and such, like what made you push more towards art besides like singing or sports or things like that?
Well, artwork started in the root of my childhood, and art was my comfort hobby. It's what I enjoy doing, and it just helped my mind like explore, creatively.
Mm-hmm.
And it relaxed me too. It was like my little therapeutic hobby.
Okay. Drawing was more of a drawing was more of a safe place, I guess, when things got too real and such.
Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay. So basically, anytime you felt like you were down and you couldn't really go to many people, art is what you would turn to. Uh,
Yes.
kind of the same for me when it came to movies. I'm a cinephile at heart, and whenever I just wasn't feeling it any kind of day, I would just choose a movie that made me feel better, and I would sit down, watch it all, maybe watch it with someone, and I can completely understand that.
Yes.
Uh, okay. So, what else? What would you say is your artistic outlook on life? Like how do you look at life in an artist's kind of point of view?
Mm, anything's a canvas. Well, things can be created, things can be changed, and things can be destroyed, basically. It's kind of like a sigh or a painting canvas.
Mm-hmm.
You can create things, you can improve things and change it, or you can destroy it. You are the artist in your little world. It is your purpose to create new things, to change new things, or destroy new things. There's a positive and a negative in it, but it's your canvas. The world is your canvas. So you need to take charge in your canvas,
Uh, have
basically.
have you ever seen the Shelter music video? Uh, from
Don't don't think so.
you no? Okay, so what you just said really reminded me of that music video. It's basically like it's a show or it's a song called Shelter, and in the music video, it's basically this girl who has like an electronic kind of like an iPad kind of thing, and whatever she draws comes to life around her, so she has unlimited possibilities, and the world is literally her canvas.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Uh, okay. So yeah, I can completely understand that. Just I mean, the world is your canvas. Don't get me wrong, but if I have kids, I don't think I'm going to tell them that because my walls will be destroyed within 2 hours. So
Oh
I
no,
don't want
that's
that.
that's a given. That's usually when they come to adulthood in a sense. Like, what career do you want? Create your career. You know what you mean?
Mhm. Okay, so next question. Very controversial. I've gotten a lot of different responses, not from guests, but just from different people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the question is, should art be funded? And when I say that, I mean like commission wise and such, just paying artists, whether it be graphic design or such, anything like that, should it be funded? And I've surprisingly gotten a lot of no, art is not a real job. What is your opinion on that?
If art's not a real job, then you better not be watching Disney or Pixar. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
It's true.
Cause um I have dealt with a very abusive grandparent that has also told me this, that art is not a job. Go to medical. And I did go to medical, but it wasn't where my heart lied. My heart lied with art. And for people that say that art isn't a job, um, you see those cartoon movies that your kid likes to watch? Yeah, turn it off. Because art's not a job, right? Or your favorite video game like Spyro, turn that off. Art's not a job, isn't it? Because
Oh.
it's it's it kind of gets me a little heated because of my personal issues with that quote, but like art can be funded or it don't have to be funded. It depends on the artist.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I do believe it should be funded. Cause look at Shrek, look at Frozen, look at Sonic the Hedgehog. It turned into a TV series. It turned into a video game. You wouldn't have that if art wasn't a job. Just think about it.
Okay. And that I meant to ask this earlier, but I had forgotten because this was not the first take, by the way. For those of you watching, I had to start again because my mic was off. Um, I had asked about the Sonic influence on your art style, and you said that you watched it, that you were introduced to Sonic through a TV show. Which Sonic show was that?
Sonic X.
Ah, I
Yeah,
knew
I
it.
know.
I knew it. Ah.
It was exactly in 2009, probably around Thanksgiving. It's usually when my cousins come over. And I got introduced to it and I was like, "Oh, this is cringy crap. Why am I watching this?"
Yeah,
And then I got influenced to a shipping in there which was Shadow and Amy. And
uh,
I got hooked with it and I was like, "Oh my god, this show's amazing." But yeah.
Siren, Siren. No,
Listen,
no.
I was guilty pleasure. I loved them together. It was so cute.
We're okay. So, were you into the edgy boys as far as because you just because Shadow like he's the Edge Lord of Edge, so you getting kind of sus right now. Not gonna lie.
Maybe.
I knew it. Ugh.
They're so
Shadow and Amy.
misunderstood.
So miss. You heard it here first, folks. Edgelords are misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Shadow the Hedgehog is misunderstood, and damn it, he needs to be understood right this second. Get that pink hedgehog back in here with her hammer and have them get it on.
Right?
Oh my god. They're misunderstood. That is the funniest thing that's ever been said on this show. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll
Oh
take
my
that title with
god.
pride.
Okay. So, an- um I guess okay. So, what was I God, I can't get it out of my head. Okay, so basically have you ever encountered anyone through, through your work, through your art, have you encountered someone that you've had to like just block out of your life, out of your social media because they were getting a little too close or a little too clingy? Basically stalkers. Have you had to deal with that?
Oh, many times.
Like through your art or just through life in general?
Both.
Oh.
Both.
Oh. Okay. What about the with the when it was through your art? How did you deal with that? Because there's a lot of because all of you out there, if you don't know, because I've heard a lot of this from some people, um, NSFW artists can be women too. They're not all dudes. They can be women.
Oh, they
So
can.
the question is, uh, how did you how did you deal with that kind of situation with a stalker online who just couldn't get you out of their head because of your art?
Mm, you uh if they're in it for like my artwork,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it as long as you don't message me some creepy shit. And they usually don't because I had a lot of people say that I give off an intimidating vibe, which bothers me a bit because I'm not very intimidating. I'm kind of a goofball, and I understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I try to be more open with my stuff. But I did have to block a lot of people when they were trying to get close to me, but they get mad
They get
about it.
mad.
They get mad about it.
That's interesting. How, like, what kind of mad? Like you owed them something kind of thing?
Yes, yes. I've had some say that they followed my art for a long time and then they try to guilt trip me into doing art trades. Or they try to guilt trip me into being their friend because they
Mm-hmm.
were suicidal, which I don't play around with. Yes. That's usually when I do the block. But if they are like obsessed with my character
mm-hmm.
and they message me say, "Oh, your character is so pretty" and all that, I usually ignore it because it's like, okay, thank you, but you're getting a little too close to my comfort zone, and if I don't respond to you, then that's it. But they're not like abusive,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna let them look at my character because they're gonna see it anyways if I block them. But like, it's fine. But if you're gonna be aggressive with me, that's when I put my foot down.
You can look all you want, you just can't touch.
Exactly.
And okay, and so with that being said, uh, what was it? People stalking you online and such, and wanting to get close to you. Um,
Yes.
so here's an interesting question. That I've asked a couple of people. When it comes to people just talking to you in general, like they've known about your art for a while and they see your tweets and such. Um, what do you think of the people, or how do you interact with those who genuinely want to like get to know you and befriend you with no other intention other than hey, you're a pretty cool person, we should hang? Cuz I've heard a lot of people, and I'm not instigating about you. It's just like with some people who are larger, they usually say, I don't want to be friends with these people because I believe they're going to only be my friend because I have a large following. So what do you say to that?
um, you really need to get out of that mindset because just because you have a large following don't mean people want to be your friend because of that. Because when I was at 6K followers, or at least 5 on my old account,
Mm-hmm.
I befriended some really small accounts, and they actually were there to be my friend because of my personality. And they have still stuck with me for almost 2 years. I'd say 2 years. And they are genuinely the coolest freaking people I have ever met.
Your
And I love
intimidating
them to death.
personality.
Touch my friends and I might be. But like um I understand that mental uh ideology of thinking, oh, they just want to be my friends because I draw art really good, or I have such a huge following so they could promote themselves. I understand that because I did have a friend that I thought was really cool, and they only befriended me because of those two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And they also hurt my friends in the process, and it really crushed me because I was like, all right, that was my fault. But you need to learn to open back up again and trust your gut. Trust your gut. And your gut will usually tell you they're a pretty chill person or they're not. because you'll never know what friends you get if you don't try. And if you have tried and you failed, that's okay. You're human. But if you're scared, you need to try to force yourself to be like, I know it happened a while ago and it hurt me, but I'm stronger now. I can do this again. Because you can meet some awesome people if you try. And you'll be like, oh my God, why didn't I open up sooner? Because this person would have walked out of my life and I wouldn't have met them. And they could have been my closest friends.
I actually I really like that. That's very
It's
it's a very
it's
profound
the
way of
truth.
looking at it.
And a lot of artists are introverts. I used to be the opposite until I started getting more into my artwork as I got older and dealing with losing my friends due to car accidents or suicide and all that. I started to close back up. And it was hard for me to open up in the art community because I've seen people get mistreated because they had something that this person didn't, so they just used them for it. I've seen that, and I've even went through it myself one time. And it hurts. It does hurt. But life is too short. You need to, I don't want to say buck up, but you need to stand tall and be like, it has happened. I won't let it happen again. It's fine to have your walls up, but you need to give people a chance that generally want to get to know you for you.
Okay. Yeah, I completely resonate with that because
Mhm.
granted I'm not a big uh I don't have a big following as of right now. Uh Hopefully I hope for it to grow in the future. But as far as it goes um with right now, I just don't have that kind of following. And that's fine. I'm more than willing to befriend people who legitimately want to get to know me because my first guest on this show helped me expand because they had a large following. They helped me expand because we became friends. They were a very chill person. They thought the same of me.
You
And
actually interviewed a good friend of mine,
oh
and he's a
really?
very big account. Yes, he's such a freaking sweetheart.
Oh
I love him to death.
who was this?
Pink Animations.
He's a big softy. He's a teddy bear.
He is an absolute dear. He's an absolute dear. We don't talk a lot, but I know that we vibe really well when
Mhm.
we interact. He's such a dear.
He is quite the awesome dude. I got to know him a little bit through through the interview that we did and through excuse me, and through the just general chat that we had after the interview. And wait a second, you've watched this show before?
When you okay.
Okay,
When
I caught you.
I can okay. You got me. You got me. I like your show. It's really original and I've never seen anything like it. And I'm like, why don't you have a lot of people following this? This is pretty freaking dope.
I say the same thing every day, but for
Like, I
different
like
reasons.
this show. It's like really interesting. I get to actually know more about the people around me, and I'm like, oh, dang, I vibe with that, you know?
The tagline of this show is "Know the person behind the pen," and I hold to that. I hold to that all the time because, as I always say, there's more to the artist than the dicks and titty that they draw. Way more.
Yes, I like that message. I like it a lot.
But yeah, Pink was so awesome. Like in all honesty, he even did something great for the show. He animated the show's icon.
I saw. That's why it made
That
me
was
want to watch it because I was like, "Ooh, what's this? This looks pretty dope."
freaking awesome. He is such it's true. He's a sweetheart. And Now, everyone out there who has been on the show, because I know that some of you, or most of you, from what I've heard, listen to this show while you're making those amazing pieces of art. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yeah, put down the pen for a second. You, you guys are awesome, still. But Pink, he's just a sweetheart.
Absolute doll. I love him to death.
Um, but yeah, this show was made simply because I may not be an artist. I have more of a passion for computers, technology, and singing. I tried to be an artist when I was a kid or a teenager. It didn't go well. I kept getting bashed for what I was trying to draw, and not only by friends but by family as well. So it really pushed me away from doing that kind of stuff. And it's funny. You said that your family had pushed you, or your grandparent had pushed you to go into the medical field. My
Hmm.
grandparents did the exact same to me.
Yeah, they felt like the medical field was where I would survive financially, which they are right in a sense, but if you get you can still survive the same way through artwork, you know.
You,
But medical school was the easier route because you just got to go to school and there you go.
but here's
Artwork, yeah.
yeah, and exact. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're
And
fine.
exactly what I said to my grandparents when they tried, because they helped me get into college. And
Yes.
as I was going into college, they told me go for the medical program. That's what we signed you up for. I'm like, you can't sign me up for anything. I have to sign up myself.
Hmm.
And I ended up signing up for a minor in computer science, and I was trying to go for a bachelor's in biomechanical engineering.
Nice.
And I ended up not going through with either because I had to come home for personal reasons. But what I told my grandparents as they were talking to me about it, I said because they kept saying that's where the money is, that's where you're going to be able to
That's what
survive.
my grandmother said, and I
Yeah,
wanted to sock her
exactly.
so bad.
Exactly. It's like that's where the money is, but I told her like what is money worth if you hate what you're doing? Like what's a job worth if you hate where you work? The medical field is not for me. Making I'd rather be making average money doing what I love than making a lot of money doing something I don't.
Exactly, because it's not worth it, and you'll burn out quicker,
Mhm.
a lot quicker.
But yeah, like that really resonated with me when you said the whole medical school thing. I was like, you you're preaching to the choir.
Yes, because she wanted, my mom was a nurse. She's been a nurse for a couple of years,
Mhm.
and my grandmother wanted me to be a nurse like my mama, and I'm like, I don't want to. And she's like, okay, well then be an EMT. And I'm like, whatever. So I was forced to be an EMT. I
Mhm.
graduated. And then I was like, well, then I enjoy EMT, but it's not where my heart is. So I branched out to firefighter. I went to fire one, and I liked it, but it still wasn't where my heart was.
Mhm.
And it was just chaotic at that point.
Man,
Just, mm,
you've been you've been all over the place when it comes to saving people's lives.
I have, and it actually, um, I ran a call, and it actually messed me up so bad to where I started smoking.
Ugh.
I witnessed a really devastating call, and I was like, oh, yo, this really isn't for me.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Uh,
That's okay. They're in a better place, and it made me stronger.
okay, awesome. Uh, so we're running a little low on time. I'm just gonna be asking a couple more questions. I honestly lost track of time, cause like I lose track of time when it comes to these interviews, cause I just like talking with the person, and
Yeah.
a casual talk is not a bad thing. um, in this kind of thing because I try to be professional. I went to school for business,
You
and
seemed professional when I first met you.
oh,
You had that vibe.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I
That's why I was nervous before we started.
the okay, so for those who probably who haven't seen my recent tweet, I had to deal with the cops yesterday, and so I had to reschedule this interview with Siren to try to take care of that. And then I had to reschedule again because I had to cook dinner tonight, so I had to be like, "Hey, can we start an hour later?" I was so afraid that you were gonna think I was unprofessional because I kept
No, because
rescheduling.
listen. I know we have a short amount of time, but listen.
Mhm.
I am the queen of like shit that happens when something's supposed to happen. I am the queen. Things just happen to me to where it prevents me from doing something that I need done,
Mhm.
and I have to push it to a later time. I understand completely. This is nothing to me. I understand.
Well, all right. So I think that's all the time that we have. And again, Siren, it was a genuine pleasure having you here on the show. You're awesome to talk to. Um, you have you have gone through a lot in your life, but I feel as if it's made you that much stronger as a person and that much stronger through your art as well. So I just thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. It really meant a lot. And hopefully we can do this again later on in the future because this was actually very fun.
Oh, for sure. There's not even any kind of no. It will happen. There's no. Like, I hope this happens. It will. It will. So
Dude,
for all of you out there watching, thank you for coming and seeing this episode of Naughty Lines. I know that it's been like a month since the last episode. But you know what? I'm back, and I'm back with a passion. I'm ready to starting to spew out more episodes, more content. I got a lot of plans with some friends of mine, and we're going to be spitting it out. So, Siren, if you've got anything to plug, uh, if you got anything to plug, like your social media or a store or anything, because I know you have, I know you have that, then go ahead right now.
I like to actually plug somebody else.
Go ahead. Plug anyone you want.
There's actually a small artist that's actually trying to get into the NSFW. Well, he is, but like he's still small, and he goes by the name Small Senpai. Please give him your follows and all that because he draws really good stuff. He tries really hard, and he's a small artist, and he's generally a really funny dude. He's a real cool guy. Check him out.
And I just shot him a follow. So that's me down. What about all the rest of you? Your the link to Small Senpai's Twitter will be in the description below when this video goes live. So go down there and click it. And as well, any links um, for Siren here will be in the description box as well. So we want to check out her Twitter, her hold on, her
My card is in
card.co.
my bio, so if y'all go to my Twitter, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, if that's all, is there anything else that you want to add, Siren? Any kind of finishing thought or anything like that?
Be yourself. That's it. Be
Be
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, right. Wear your mask, wash your hands, give your mama a kiss, and help her do dishes at night. That's it. And
Just
y'all have a good night.
I'm just putting this out there. I'm totally going to like I'm not even joking. I'm gonna put Barry B. Benson on screen when you say "be yourself."
Wait,
I'm
how
gonna
did
do
you
it.
how did you know that name?
Barry B. Benson.
Yeah.
I've seen the Bee Movie hundreds of times.
No, because that's what I call my cat.
Oh, Barry B. Benson?
That's his actual name, Barry B.
It's
Benson.
from a movie.
Oh my god. I call my cat Barry B. Benson because that's his name, Barry.
It's from a movie.
I know, but it just threw me off. That's amazing.
All right. Well, all of you watching, thanks again for seeing this episode of Naughty Lions. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.